Hi, I'm Anson Hanbury, one of the pastors here at Christ Church, and I want to share with you a way that you can get the most impact out of this Renewal series. You may know that for the first half of this series, we've been talking about the concept of identity, and specifically seeing ourselves in the way that God sees us. We're highly valued, made in God's image. We're deeply fallen as sinful creatures. We're eternally designed, meaning we're designed to live for eternity, and that we are greatly loved. As we move toward the second half of this series, we're going to move toward something called a rule of life, or choices that we can make in how we structure our days, weeks, months, even years. This concept of a rule of life goes back to the monastery living, how the monks would think very deeply about the way that they ordered and structured their days. It's a concept that's not as common in our day, but we think it could be vital for helping us connect more with our identity and the way that God sees us and how that plays out in everyday living. This past summer, my wife and I actually started to work on the concept of a rule of life in our own marriage and in our life because, like so many, boy, have things been chaotic. All of the rhythms, good or bad, pre-COVID, have all gone out the window. And so we're looking for some new structure and some new order and predictability and ways to connect in our life. And so we began by making lists of what are the things that are life-giving to us, that are energizing, and what are the things that just drain us, that are sort of negative impacts in our life. And we just started to ask the question, how can we have more of these and put some boundaries around these as much as we can? And so we started to think about what are the things that we need and want to do daily, what are the things that we need and want to do weekly, monthly, maybe even yearly, and started to just make some lists and make some priorities and write some things down. There's a renewal plan that we're actually offering as an accompaniment to this sermon series. You may have started to look at it in your small group. If not, you can access it. We'll have information on this video of how you can find that link. And it'll just walk you through ways that you could go through a similar process of making some choices in your own life, and it names some categories and ways to think and how to begin this process. In my own life, I'm encouraged that my wife and I have made a few steps, but it's a journey. I mean, we haven't gotten far, but we've begun. We've done some things that have begun to make a tangible difference, but we feel like we're just beginning. And I would invite you to join me in this journey of building out a rule of life, a renewal plan, if you will, for how you can understand yourself more in the way that God sees you and live in a way that leans into His design for your life. May God help us as we do this together as we seek renewal.